Hello, Facebook, and we are live here. I am Megan Lang with the Gallatin Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here today with Greg Wilson, who is what are you with Actors Point? You are everything. What is your title?
I'm the founding artistic director
with Actors Point Theater Company.
Exactly.
Yes. Awesome. Well, Greg, what we've been doing the past few weeks is kind of trying to feature our nonprofits and kind of hear what they do, how COVID-19 has affected them. And I know it affected y'all specifically because I was just discussing with Greg that one of my students auditioned for a production they did, and that kind of waylaid things a little bit. And then kind of how can the community support you in terms of donations or whatever you need. So give me some background on what Actors Point Theater Company does, how it started, kind of a short, longer than 1 minute. I know you're great at 1 minute spiels. You have a little more time than that, but
I teach people how to do 1 minute.
Yes, you do, but let's go a little longer, a little more in depth than that. But tell us about Actors Point.
So Actors Point Theater Company, as a professional actor, I started looking around, and in Sumner County, there was nobody hiring professional actors. You always had to go downtown, okay, or go somewhere else, or go out of state. And so I said, you know what? Wow, we've got such a great community, great, Sumner County. I mean, we got the lake, we got all these wonderful things, and we have a heritage of having performances and performers, certainly, from this area. And I thought, well, why not hire the people that folks are going downtown to see and bring them up here?
Yeah.
And then, so rather than me complain about not having acting jobs, why not create some?
Right.
So that's what we decided to do, and that was 2011. We started, and so we hire professionals and semi-professional actors from, in some cases internationally. Last year we did a Shakespeare festival, and we had folks from in the Shakespeare play from Prague, even so, Hollywood, all over.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, pretty exciting. At any rate, so I said, we're going to do that, and then along with that, we're going to come alongside the schools and performing arts kind of academies and all those kinds of things, and see if we can offer some camps and classes and workshops for not just kids, adults as well.
Right.
But and help people raise the bar that way as well. So that's what we've been doing, and like we're going to enter into, if they let us press the go button, we're going to enter into our summer camp season, which we started back in 2012, and we're with a production of Newsies. So that'll be in July.
Wow, so you're doing Newsies this year. I love Newsies.
We love Newsies. So we're going to do our 5-year-old through 5th grade camp concurrently with our junior high and high school camp. Maybe be separate, but at the same time.
Yeah.
And the 5-year-old through 5th graders, they do the songs and dances from Newsies, and because they're 6, right? So, and then the middle schoolers through high schools do the full blown show. And, we even supplement with some local professionals if we need them.
If you need them, yeah.
So, because, we were trying to teach the kids that we're there not to serve us, but to serve the show, to serve the audience, to serve, we're there as servants, not as masters,
Yeah.
So, and then consequently, things have blossomed to the point where we are doing some training of business people and other types of people in how to perform, or not, and nowadays especially how to deal with being on camera.
Yeah. We've all needed to learn that. That has been one of the most interesting things, and we call it the pandemic pivot at the chamber office.
Yes.
We all had to very quickly learn, and I've been lucky because I have a jazz band and I teach dance and I teach voice lessons, and I've performed a lot. And so for me, it's not been incredibly difficult to kind of figure out how to readjust for just being on camera instead. I do still say a lot.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's been relatively
Yeah.
simple for me to transition, but with a lot of folks, they're like, "Ugh, what do I do at this point? I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to have to do this." And so it's been a change.
Yeah, that's where the comes from.
Yeah,
I don't want to be here.
exactly, exactly. Or I'm trying to think of the right phrasing here and kind of
Right. There's no rehearsal, no rehearsal involved, right?
right, right. Fly by the seat of your pants all the time right now. But so Greg, as I mentioned, like I have a student who is actually she auditioned for The Lion King. What happened with that? Kind of what
Well, I mean, what happened was,
COVID-19 happened.
everybody, yeah, right? They said no more getting together, and really it was when we run our camps. You say audition. When you sign up for camp, this was our first endeavor into doing camp during the school year.
Right.
There's a tuition fee and so on and so forth, a very small fee, but you're going to be in the show. So the audition was within the context of the camp. So it's not like you're not going to be in the show. You have to audition just to get in camp. No, you sign up, you're going to be in the show. We just have to figure out what puzzle piece you are.
Yes.
That serves the show, so obviously, we're getting together, and all of a sudden they're like, you ain't getting together anymore. Well, that just shuts it all down. And we did some Zoom meetings with the kids, and what we did was we said, okay, we'll give you your money back, which was tough because we already invested. A lot of folks don't understand that when you're doing theater, you have to get the rights to do the play, and you have to pay for the rights up front. And we were doing Lion King Jr., so relatively speaking, it was inexpensive. But inexpensive is $1,500.
I know.
That's inexpensive. When you do a full-blown musical, you could be, with 6 performances, you could be up $2,800, depending on. So that's up front. And so we have to lay that money out up front, hoping
that people will sign up
and that people will come and see the show.
Well, and I'll be honest,
we walk in faith every time.
When my student told me how much it cost, I was very impressed because it is a very low cost for the students.
And we do that on purpose because we want to make it available to a wider range of people. And so consequently, because I'm connected in a few chambers of commerce, I reach out to the business people and say, hey, would you sponsor a kid for $40? Like our summer camp, for example. Many summer camps in the area, even downtown or where, are $300 to $400 a week.
Right.
Ours is $350 for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Again, on purpose. And if you can't do that, just tell us. We're going to help find some.
We're going to try and find a way to make.
We're going to try to find some scholarship money, because the most important thing is to get that child in with their tribe.
Yes.
Right. Get them with their peeps.
That I've talked about it a lot, just in my own life. Being involved in theater, in musical performance, in any of the performing arts, I think that gives folks so much more confidence in the ability to do well in the business world, not just in the creative world.
No doubt. And as a matter of fact, let's take the 30,000 foot view.
Yeah.
Nowadays, technology is not what sets businesses apart. Creativity is what sets businesses apart from the other. Every kind of business. So guess what? Businesses nowadays are figuring out that their first hires has to be the creative team.
Yes.
Where do those creatives come from?
The theater world. The performing arts
world. Those people who think and live in that world and live amongst those creative, kooky people like me.
Yes, it is the creative, kooky people. That is You know,
And another example is, when you go to one of the parks, in the fall or in the summertime, and you see all the kids on the baseball field or on the football field, right? And there's 40 or 50 of them on the football field, and they get to be cheered for, right? Those are great kids, and I love them. But then there's twice as many of them over crawling on the monkey bars, talking to themselves. Those are my people.
yes. They're my people too.
They're singing to themselves. They're making up stories in their head.
They have their invisible friends,
and they never have a chance to get clapped for. So we give them a chance to find their tribe, have acceptance, and get some applause.
Right. And theater is not just about the performing arts. You have set design, you have lighting design, you have the stage managers who maybe they're not as creative in terms of performance, but they have to be creative when it comes to problem solving and getting things done and being organized. And
there's a deadline.
Yeah.
I mean, like in business, there's a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
These people know, hey, the curtain's going to go up, whether you're ready or not. We're going to be ready.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So you are raising up a new generation. So tell me, Actors Point has children's camps, but you also do, I know you've done Shakespeare, like you mentioned, you had people here from Prague.
We do Shakespeare. So we've just instituted a new thing. Mm-hmm. Last summer. It's always been a dream of mine to do this, but if you have a minute, like to digress, there's a place called Ashland, Oregon. I tell people, if you look up the middle of nowhere in the dictionary, there's a picture of Ashland, Oregon. Right. It's about 3.5 hours south of Portland, Oregon. It's about 3.5 hours north of San Francisco. It really is the middle of nowhere, but 400,000 people visit there every year for the Oregon Shakespeare Festival.
Wow. That's amazing.
So they're in the middle of nowhere. Nashville is in the middle of 2/3 of the population of the United States.
Right.
The middle. So, and we have a lake right here. So why not put world-class Shakespeare on the lake in Sumner County, and we're in the middle.
Yeah.
So what kind of tourism could we maybe generate? What kind of, for the business community, what kind of, the mayors will tell you this, the best kind of tax dollars you can have in a community is the kind where people come.
And then they leave.
And then they leave and leave their money. That's the best kind.
Yeah.
So that was, believe it or not, as a creative, I had those thoughts.
Yeah.
So last year we did Henry V at Rock Castle on the lake, beautiful setting, evening, beautiful. And we did some performances of that. And we had actors, because I've got links to folks in Hollywood and all over the place. So we brought in some top.
You brought in professional actors.
Big time professional actors. If you look at what I paid, you'll see that.
I don't want to look at it.
So my point is, why not build, and here's the dream. Why not have 5 or 6 of those venues along the lake throughout Sumner County, in Gallatin, along the lake, and so that somebody has to stay here a week to see everything and then leave.
Yeah. You might have people fall in love and move here, but for the most part, they're coming to visit. And
they're going to come to Nashville to visit anyway.
Yes.
So, and again, we're in the middle.
Yeah.
Think about an 8-hour drive. You can be in Dallas.
Oh, you can be everywhere.
You can be at the beach. You can be
down in Orlando is 10 hours. But this is something I think about this too, because I have a jazz band and we travel to swing dance events and like, oh, look, I am driving distance of St. Louis, of Orlando, of Asheville, of Charleston, of
Chicago,
Dayton, Ohio, Chicago. I mean, there's so many, Birmingham, Alabama, like all sorts of places that I've been able to drive to. Other people would have to fly, but not me because I'm right here outside of Nashville and we are driving distance.
And so, and so the idea is, why not do that and do it in a big way and do it very well to develop and not only add to our community by giving them great Shakespeare, but also on the lake, but also an economic development engine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do both. Let's do both. Yeah. So in September, we're going to do Shakespeare on the Lake again.
Awesome. Do you know what?
We're going to do Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh.
And we're going to set it in the 1970s in a garden party.
Oh, I love that.
So bell bottoms are in now, so we won't have a problem with.
You have costuming? I'm pretty sure I have a 1970s muumuu literally hanging in my closet right now. I have a few. I dress in vintage a lot, so I have a lot of random stuff, but that is going to be so amazing.
Yeah, and I got some world-class folks coming in for that. So,
do you know the exact date of it yet, or is it just September?
Yes, I do.
It's a secret. Okay.
Let me look at the calendar because I have the calendar right here. Let me just zoom through the calendar real quick. It's September. Come on, September. Come on up. September.
This is the best part about technology.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so useful, and then occasionally it'll glitch. And
so September 18 and 19, we're going to do Much Ado About Nothing.
Awesome. And so you'll have 2 performances, or will you have?
For now, like I say, we're keeping it small till it grows. Now, yes. Last year we had over 600 people see our show in 2 nights, and we had visitors from 9 states. So
that is amazing.
Proving my point. The people at the Convention Visitors Bureau are very happy right now.
Yes. Yes. Well, that is very exciting. And I will have to make plans to go. I think last year I might even have had a gig when it happened, but it is really fascinating that,
thank you.
I love Shakespeare, so this is wonderful. And Knoxville does Shakespeare in the square, in their big downtown market square, and it's all volunteers, and it is wonderful. My high school English teacher generally is part of the production, but I love what they do. But Rock Castle and the lake and like professional actors doing Shakespeare, that's wonderful. So
our venue is going to change this year. We're going to do it in Saunders Ferry Park.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which has some beautiful lake vistas as well.
Yes. We live in such a beautiful county.
I know. And I can't wait to find a great venue in Gallatin.
Yeah.
That's what we're thinking. So
one day. So you have that on the docket. You're doing your summer shows, or your summer camps, but you're doing them both at the same time. I'm assuming so that we can kind of put some space where we're allowed to be in larger group.
We're going to be in a larger group, and because it's summertime, we can also do a lot of rehearsals outside.
Yes.
And we're doing that on purpose, and of course my wife's a nurse. We've got other people so we're going to check everybody, there's going to be all the releases. We're going to take their temperature every day. We're going to do that stuff. And let's face it, like everything else, people say, well, this is a risk. You know what? Life is a risk. So, jumping out of an airplane is a risk. That's why you sign that little form.
Yes. Well,
that's not a decision I make for you. That's a decision you make for you.
Right. And when are the camps?
It'll start July 6th.
Okay. So I think that is part of it too. You have a little while before.
We'll have some practice in figuring out how we're all living with each other.
If it was starting tomorrow, I might be a little nervous, but you have some time to figure it out.
And there's going to be a no make fun of rule, whether you wear a mask or not. And all
Good.
We'll figure
it out.
You know what I mean? So we're going to do everything we can, and then, you do everything. But, when it boils down to it, just like everything else in theater, just like everything else in dance, everything else in singing, it's your personal responsibility to make it happen.
Absolutely. So In terms of donations,
Mhm.
of course, you would
No.
love donations. So if people want to sponsor it, if they want to sponsor a child, if they want to sponsor an entire show, how can they get in touch with you? Where should they go to do that? The website, the Facebook page,
Both our Facebook page, our website, Actors Point Theater with spelled
with
R-E.
R-E, yes,
So and our website is actorspointtheater.com.
great.
Or you can email to actorspointtc, as in theater company,
Yeah,
actorstc@gmail. Or you can get on our Facebook at Actors Point Theater Company as well. And, we do have sponsorships available for businesses. By the way, we're also one of the sponsors of a thing called Hendersonville Has Talent. We're one of the originators of that. And so a lot of folks like to sponsor us because then their logos get in all of our posts on Facebook and on social media.
yes,
And when we run that contest, we have over 200,000 impressions in
yep.
those few weeks that we run that. Well, that's worth something because advertising is all about impressions.
Mm-hmm. And
How
one
many
of my students actually participated in Hendersonville Got Talent last year. She clogged. So,
Well, yeah. So
yeah,
I remember that one.
my
So
students are
all
all
that to
over
say,
the place.
all that to say, when you're looking at a value of what's worth it, we've got a large social media following,
Right.
and consequently, those social media impressions are worth something to advertisers.
Absolutely.
And so you might, if you want to make your donation as an advertiser, that's great. If you just want to make a donation, we would love it.
Yeah.
And again, there's going to be buttons on both anywhere you go that says, hit
Please
this.
donate here. Yes. Yes. And I did put the links in the comments there, the email, the Facebook, and the website, so that anyone who's watching, if they have extra stimulus check money, they can go share it. One of the things that I've really, I want to say, one of the realizations that I came to, and I don't really think I came to this realization. I am a creative, and so of course I've known the value of performing arts and fine arts and creativity, including creative writing and TV and everything. But during quarantine, when so much has been shut down, I'm hopeful that people have realized that the fine arts and the performing arts are not the useless things that they sometimes get made out to be by the media and by society. As important as STEM is, science and the maths and everything, and that is. I'm not saying that's not important. It is so important. My husband is an engineer. I'm a type 1 diabetic who relies on medicine to stay alive. But fine arts, creative arts,
Right.
it's what's kept people sane in terms of entertainment. And so my hope is that people have kind of maybe had a wake up where they've been like, yes, science is very important and I should rely on this, but also.
Well, I think and I've been doing exactly the same thinking, and I've always said that our best memories in life with our families and so on and so forth have to do with experiences.
Yes.
Live experiences. We don't sit around and go, remember the time we sat and watched video game,
Remember when we watched
a DVD at the house while we were on our cell phones not talking to each other? Remember that?
Right.
As opposed to, remember the time we went to this show, this concert, this thing, because, not to get preachy, but I'm going to preach anyway. I think God made us all to actually have fellowship.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think a positive from this thing is because we've been staying away from each other, we see and we crave fellowship, being together, and we see how important it is. And so, yeah, now I think there's actually going to be a resurgence in live performance kind of situations because
I
people
hope so.
realize, oh my gosh, this is what I miss.
Mhm.
This is what I miss is being with people, enjoying something with people. There's nothing, no way can you replace experience something with an audience around you. It
Right.
can't. It's never the same.
And
I don't care what it is. Even if it's a movie, you still love it in a theater.
yes, and I've been saying similar things. I think that there could and hopefully will be a creative renaissance
Yeah.
that happened. Uh, I won't say that COVID-19 is good because I do not think it is. I think it's
Not even a little.
awful. But I'm hopeful that a good thing will come out of it in the creative renaissance that I see happening, even with friends who are now doing challenges where they're drawing a sketch every day and they haven't had time to do that until now.
Right.
Now they're practicing their craft. Or I participated in an online fundraiser where we put together almost a 2.5 hour show
Yeah.
that typically we would do live with an audience. And we were able to put together video that did the same thing, including some choral numbers.
Right.
And it's just phenomenal to see how people are adapting and pivoting to meet the challenges, and it all requires creativity.
Oh, yeah, and that's so totally the point. Is that we have a well that's within us that can only be filled one way. And that's through creativity and all those things. So yes,
Absolutely.
totally that. So yeah, you're right on. I mean, that's exactly right.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything that you think people should know about Actors Point Theater Company, or is there anything that we haven't covered, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're moving on because somebody said to me, "How you call yourself an artist? How do you know you're an artist?" I said, "Because I'm going to do it every day,
No matter what."
no matter what."
Yep.
I breathe this. I mean, people say, "Why do you do this?" Why? Because I have to breathe. I understand. Because what would I do?
Yeah.
I have a brother who's actually a world-class decorative iron worker. He makes right, and I'm say world-class. When the Globe Theatre in London years ago they did a whole renovation.
Mm-hmm.
All of the leaf work on all the ironwork is my brother's work.
Are you kidding? The Globe Theatre.
Yeah, the Globe. And then also there's the gates of the White House. There's some really intricate leaf work. That's my brother's work.
That is amazing.
But people say, well, how did he get that job? Here's how. He's 65 years old, 66, I think now. Anyhow, he, since the time he was 3, has been drawing pencil drawings every day, 2 and 3 hours a day, his whole life. So here's my point, artists, if you're listening. My brother got the job for the White House and the Globe Theatre when he was 3.
As he was working.
He decided when he was 3, he was going to draw every day.
Yeah.
And develop his creative side.
Yeah.
Is that right? I think it's right.
But, I mean, yes. I think similarly, I started singing before I could really talk, I was singing, but I was taking voice lessons when I was 9, and have since I sing every day. I work very hard at it. And, with that, I also play piano. I took 18 years of piano lessons and now I teach it. And, we keep working at our craft, and that's how you do it.
Well, exactly.
And so you don't always see, you don't always reap the it doesn't always look like things are happening. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You can work really hard and you don't always see a return on that, but
Absolutely.
you do feel better for having worked on it rather than just let it die. So, I know.
By far. I wish I had the link to show you. You're talking about being creative during these times. We actually, I'm trying to find the video to send you. We actually put together a video. I had heard about a church that, because of the tornado, they were gathering up supplies for tornado relief.
Yeah.
And part of the supplies was toilet paper. Okay. So, and you know what? It's on our Facebook page if people want to see the video. But March 15th, one of the pastors early in the morning was looking out the window, praying and stuff. Saw this car pull up. Woman runs in the church, runs back out with an armload of toilet paper and drives off. So the pastor was preaching about that. This is before church, and she's like, guys, we're kind of overreacting about this stuff. Everybody needs to settle down. But immediately when he told the story, my mind left the sermon, and I started thinking about the scene in Les Mis where Jean Valjean steals the silver.
Yes.
So we did a reenactment. Look on our Facebook page.
I will. That is amazing. I love Les Mis. Love Les Mis live more than I loved the film, but
yes.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
And people ask me when I'm going to do Les Mis, and I go, as soon as they release the rights.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so you're doing Newsies this summer.
Newsies. One secret. We got the rights to Something Rotten.
Ooh.
And that'll happen in August, probably.
Something Rotten is so fun. Okay.
The funniest musical. It'll make you love Shakespeare. Everybody who sees Something Rotten will definitely want to see the Shakespeare Festival.
Yes.
And vice versa.
Everyone should want to see Shakespeare anyway. I think that, there's a reputation that Shakespeare is kind of stodgy, but y'all, if you think that, you have not actually. It is hilarious. There are dirty jokes. Shakespeare is wonderful. And I highly recommend. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, this has been really delightful. And like I said, I did put the donation info in the comments, the website, the Facebook, and the email address. And
so nice.
Yeah, I'm hoping, please donate some money to Actors Point. We need live theater more than ever. And, one of the things that is so beautiful about Actors Point and what Greg is doing specifically with the summer camps is he is investing in the lives of children. And we want to see these children grow up to be thriving adults. And I think that, participating in theater, in the performing arts world, can really help students and children be better at social everything.
And we really are preparing the next level of creatives for your business for the future. I mean, at the least, we're doing that.
Yeah.
At the least, we're doing that. And, the need is there. I mean, we've stopped paying ourselves because we can't.
No.
And so, because the only way we make, bring money in is to do shows.
Performances. Shocking.
So, right. And I mean, yes, a little bit lessons and stuff, but it's not enough. Yeah. And this is not me complaining because I'm a big boy and there's other things I can do as well. But the deal is, we want to get back to the mission of doing what we do. We can tell you story after story after story of kids who have gone on to college and other things and that are thriving. Uh-huh. And their mom and dad and they themselves will say, it's because you let me get in a show when I never thought I was going to be able to get in a show.
Yep. And that similarly, I obviously was never part of Actors Point because I grew up in Knoxville, but my theater teacher from high school is one of the people I still keep in touch with her. She gave me lead roles. I was Lori in Oklahoma. I directed productions with her. I was drama club president. And I do believe that because of that, like, that is why I'm where I am today and why I'm capable of being on Facebook Live. And I say some goofy things, but for the most part, like, this has been pretty seamless. We're okay.
That's funny.
So, I mean, I do think that being in theater and being in drama club and all of the learning opportunities I had there, I think that that really prepared me for doing this now.
Right. Right.
And I don't think that the virtual world is going to go away. I
No.
believe that now that this has happened, I think that we will continue to see more and more virtual conferences and live streams, even when we're back to our new normal. I believe that we'll keep doing stuff like this for a long time, and we want kids to be good at talking instead of just kind of, hello, what do I say?
And we want them to be good at hitting deadlines, and we want them to be good at working well with others, and we want them to be good at taking responsibility for their own work, and we want them to be, it sounds like the perfect employee.
Yes, it does. It does.
Well, I just sent you a link, by the way, to the video.
Awesome.
On the private chat. So
perfect.
Anyway, have fun with it. It's so you'll have fun. Thank you for your time.
I'm very excited to watch it. Thank you. I'm actually gonna post it in the live feed. Here's the link to the toilet paper Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Toilet
paper Les Mis, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Greg. This has been delightful. And like I said, please donate to Actors Point. They do great work.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah.
See you at the show.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.